Peace, peace, peace. Here's another one that, might fall under a lot of people's radar. This is basically the first, black um, sword and sorcery, otherwise currently known as Sword and Soul series that I read by the great Charles R. Saunders. Amaro was like my first joint, like back in the 80s, it was just incredible that someone took the time to actually write like sword and soul fantasy, from like a black perspective. It was incredible to me. He created his own analog Africa fantasy world called Inyumbane, and placed his hero Imaro in it. And then it was like decades later that like a whole basically bunch of black fantasy and role playing people, you know, discovered him, in like this second phase, and he came like basically out of retirement, and wrote, some new stuff. The Dosuye, I believe that's how it's pronounced. Basically, same setting but with a woman antagonist. Um, I mean protagonist, and she was it all hidden, all hidden. You know what I'm saying? And it was just great because if you, like I said in one of my previous videos, you know, D&D had a strong Tolkien imprint, and as a result, it had a strong European Renaissance medieval kind of imprint, right? And so, like the notion that you could have, the same kind of freedom of fantasy telling in other settings was unheard of during these times. I'm not sure exactly when he wrote these. He might have wrote these actually in the 70s, and I got wind of them like in the 80s and stuff. But yeah, I dug into them, and once again, it it really changed how I utilized setting up settings in D&D and stuff. Um, Whether I was having a strongly, heavily like Afrocentric kind of campaign, or just being able to mix and match different attributes from various cultures within my medieval setting, right? Like it, which ironically, as we know nowadays, that there was a lot more diversity of people in all these various areas that we tend to play role playing in. So like, yeah, there's black people in like medieval Europe, ancient Europe, Renaissance Europe, and not just that. Like you gotta realize we having trade going on, right? So there's also Middle Eastern people in during these times, right? Like Europe wasn't the only place popping. And the Silk Trade, they were in there, Far Eastern peoples also, so it was the first thing that actually caused me to ironically flavor my campaigns with a little more reality. And it opened up a lot of doors in terms of how I see things and how I did things. But if you can, cop these. Charles R. Saunders, and they're in various different types of collections and stuff right now. Some of the covers are the covers that I have, like from the 70s. That yeah, you can cop these, and you'll see what I'm talking about. My man really did his thing. I got to talk to him once before he passed away a few years ago, and he's just an incredible